Thank you for watching this Hexagon Geospatial e-training module using an Incident Analyzer view. In this e-training module, you will learn how to use charts, sidebar panels, and map controls within an Incident Analyzer view. For this example, an Incident Analyzer view has been created and shared using an email titled, "Check out my Incident Analyzer view." The email contains a URL that provides a link to the Incident Analyzer view. This Incident Analyzer is used for a traffic analysis view. To see the traffic analysis view, click the URL. Incident Analyzer views can look very different from one view to the other. They can reference different data sources, contain different base map layers, include one or more charts, or use custom logos, and use custom color sequences. This video will demonstrate how the different elements within a view can be used to explore multiple types of incident data. Let's begin by taking a look at the elements that make up an Incident Analyzer view. First is the map view. The map view allows you to see the results of your filters and lets you explore your data interactively using your mouse and navigation controls. Second is the title bar. The title bar contains any custom logo and a simple title that reports the number of incidents being displayed in the map. The title bar also contains a question mark logo to access the online help. Let's first see how to use charts and the sidebar panel. Each view must have at least one chart and can have up to a maximum of 6 charts. The first chart is Incident Theme. This is the one chart that is mandatory, so this chart will always be available. The Incident Theme chart shows the distribution of incidents by the specified theme attribute as a pie chart. The second chart is Day of Week. This chart shows the distribution of incidents by day in a bar chart form. The third chart is the Radial Gauge chart. This chart shows an average or cumulative metric, such as response time or dollar values, for the incidents displayed on the map. The fourth chart is Date. This chart shows the distribution of incidents by your theme using a date range. The fifth chart is Time of Day. This chart shows the distribution of incidents by your theme using an hourly range. The sixth and final chart is the heat map chart. This representation shows the count of incidents by day or hour using a matrix. Finally, let's look at the sidebar panel. Every view will contain a sidebar panel. This component controls a number of items within the view. Those items include layers, chart display, filtering options, sharing, and preferences. Now let's review pin maps. Pin maps are spatial representations of incident data. These maps are typically used as the first look at spatial distribution and form the basis for further spatial analysis. Pin maps, such as this one, are also useful for looking at repeat incidents, or incidents that occur at the same location within a defined time period. In this example, the clustering technique is used to display approximately 5,000 incidents over a 3-month span. Each cluster marker is colored and labeled. The colors represent the amount of clustering, and the label represents the number of incidents within a cluster. Hover the cursor over a marker to see the spatial extents of the incidents that fall within the cluster shown by a light blue polygon. Tooltips can help you better understand the contents and makeup of your incident data. To use the tooltips, they must be turned on. To do so, open the sidebar panel in the upper right corner of the screen. Click to open the Preferences section. When the tooltips are turned on, as they are by default in this view, you can click on pin symbols or cluster markers to display the tooltips. Click on a cluster marker. A table of tooltips is displayed. Click the Export button to export the contents of this tooltip to a CSV file if desired. Note that tooltips work for single pin symbols as well. Click on a pin to display its single record. Next, you'll turn tooltips off. From the sidebar panel, uncheck Tooltips to deactivate the tooltips. When tooltips are turned off, clicking on a cluster marker zooms in on that marker. Click on a cluster marker to zoom in on the marker you clicked. Continue to click on the cluster marker until you can no longer zoom in. At this point, the cluster expands to show all of the incidents at the single location. View tooltips for any of these pins by turning the tooltips on again. Now click on a pin symbol to see the attributes. In this example, you are already zoomed into the map so that the incident markers with numbers now represent repeat incident locations. Repeat incidents occur when the same person or same place experiences more than one incident over a specified period of time. These map types are useful as prior incidents can be the best predictor of future problems. The maps effectively depict repeat and non-repeat places on the same map and allow for quick comparisons between the repeat places and the number of incidents. In addition, they can be used to quickly find concentration of hot places, meaning an area that contains several repeated failures. Conversely, colored pins represent single incident locations. These pins are color-coded to reflect the current theme called priority. From the sidebar panel, click the Layers section to see the incident count map for this view. Incident count mapping is a popular technique for representing the spatial distribution of incidents by geographic boundary. Incident events mapped as points can be aggregated to these geographic regions. The count of events by their geographic areas can then be thematically mapped to display the spatial pattern of incidents across jurisdictions. Notice that the boundaries and hotspot layers are unchecked by default. You can check them to activate them when desired. Check boundaries to turn on this layer. Use the zoom controls to slowly zoom out so that the majority of polygons in the area of interest can be seen. Notice that the polygons are colored with a light red to dark red color sequence. These colors represent the total number of incidents that fall spatially within them. The polygons with the highest amount of incidents are tinted with the darkest red color. More specifically, the polygons with the highest amount of incidents are tinted with the darkest red color. Incident count maps display polygons that thematically indicate the number of incidents that fall within each area. These maps use colors to represent different values within land units, such as police precincts, city voting districts, or census tracts. They can be expressed as simple counts, for example, number of incidents in a defined boundary, or as density values, for example, number of incidents per square mile. Incident count maps give you a broader perspective of where incidents occur without having to interpret a large number of individual locations. Now let's use the charts to filter data and ask questions. Click on the P2 text entry in the priority theme chart. This will show all of the P2 incidents. Notice that the pie chart and map automatically update to reflect this change and that the word reset has been added to the chart. This reset button can be used at any time to reset a single chart. Click on P3, P4, P7, and P9 entries to show all of the P2, P3, P4, P7, and P9 incidents. Notice how the view updates to reflect each change. Now we'll look at the day of the week chart. Click on the bar labeled TUE for Tuesday. Notice that the chart and map automatically update to reflect this change. As before, the word reset has been added to the chart. Click on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday entries. The map will show all priority incidents noted above in the theme chart that occurred between Tuesday and Friday. As you can see, performing a complex query is easy. Remember that you can use any combination of charts to build your query. You have the beginnings of a good temporal query, but you can analyze your data even further. Move the cursor over the date chart. Notice that the cursor changes to a crosshair. Defining a window of time is as simple as clicking and dragging, where the leftmost line represents the start date and the rightmost line represents the end date. In this case, the date range is from 5/13/1996 to 6/8/1996. For better accuracy, click the triangle in the upper right-hand corner to expand the chart, and then click the triangle again to collapse the chart to its original size. Change over time animations, too, can be accomplished by using the date chart. To do this, move your cursor in the middle of the date selection, within the blue area. Click and hold the mouse button and slide your cursor to the left so that the date range changes. Notice how the view dynamically updates to reflect the movement of the mouse and therefore reflects change over time. Look at the time of day chart. Notice when the cursor is over the chart that the cursor changes to a crosshair. Just like the date chart, you can also define a window of time. In this case, the window of time is from approximately 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. Notice how the view automatically updates to reflect the movement of the mouse and therefore reflects change over time. With all of these filters in place, you now have a nicely detailed report. Specifically, the boundaries layer has been turned on, the widgets have been used to filter the incident data, showing all incidents with a priority of 2 through 9, occurring on Tuesday through Friday between the dates of April 8th and May 4th, 1996, and within the hours of 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. Notice that the beat boundaries also reflect this query and that the title bar indicates that there are 117 of 4,999 incidents that meet the criteria. A hotspot is a condition that indicates some form of clustering. Hotspot maps are statistically valid, graphically appealing, and are not constrained by artificial boundaries, and therefore truly represent the distribution of incidents. To view a hotspot map, from the sidebar panel, click Layers and click to turn on the hotspot layer. In this case, the hotspots are barely visible. To change this, you will modify the hotspot distance parameter. Under Preferences, change the hotspot distance from 400 meters to 3,000 meters. Click Apply. With this change, you can see how the hotspot layer provides additional insight into the distribution of incidents. Most notably, you can quickly see the higher frequency and clustering of incidents based on the current filters, where the dark green and red areas represent the hottest areas, or the areas where the density of incidents are the highest. Now let's reset the filters to see how these changes affect the hotspot layer. Click Reset on the Time of Day chart, the Date Range chart, the Day of the Week chart, and the Priority chart. As you reset the filters, the hotspots grow larger and larger to a point where they are too large and do not adequately reflect any level of clustering. Decrease the hotspot distance value to create a hotspot layer that better represents the greater number of incidents. Since you have polygons at your disposal, use them to build a report based on a subset of areas. To do this, first zoom in and reposition your map. Begin defining your report by clicking on response areas within the map. Notice that each time a polygon is clicked, it's added to the collection, and that all of the charts update to reflect the polygon filter. Please note that the polygons do not need to be adjacent to each other. With this technique, you can create a report for specific collections of polygons within your map. In this case, you have defined 3 collections of polygons to represent 3 distinct areas. If you want to remove a polygon from the collection, simply click on it. With the examples given, you should now be able to use charts, the sidebar panel, and the map controls within an Incident Analyzer view. Thank you for watching this e-training module from Hexagon Geospatial. For more e-training, please visit hexagongeospatial.com/etraining.